Beginning January 2024, Kenya will be a visa-free country. It shall no longer be necessary for any person from any corner of the globe to carry the burden of applying for a visa to come to Kenya.
We begin this hour with a story of an African country opening its arms to Black Americans. You don't have to stay where you're not wanted.
Ghana's Elmina Castle occupies a dark place in America's history. This used to be a central trading hub where African people from across the continent were bought and sold into slavery.
I never felt safe.
Kenyans have shown time and again that we are not afraid of the world beyond our borders. We venture abroad fearlessly and warmly welcome our visitors from near and far.
We're doing good. Good.
Yeah.
So, brother, I'll start by your name.
So my name is Keith. I'm originally from the United States, from Michigan, Detroit, but now I'm living in Kenya, Africa.
My name is Faith. I'm from Kenya, Bungoma.
It's nice. My name is Evans, as you know.
Yes.
So, my friend here.
Oh, my name is Evans Rayolah.
Okay.
Just like him, he's Evans from Kenya.
We are both Evans.
Oh,
I'm Evans Rayolah.
Evans 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, remind me your name.
Keith. Yep. Keith.
Keith.
Yep. Keith.
In Kenya, we call it Kate.
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 Yeah. So, Kate and sister.
Faith.
Faith. Oh,
Kate,
Faith.
Kate and Faith.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow. So, thank you and welcome to the Republic, Kate.
Thank you.
Yeah. For you hosting us.
Yeah. So I know sister already invited you and she did a very nice thing. I can tell you are happy, bro.
Yeah, absolutely. We're happy to be on the channel.
Yes. It's an honor. You know, I'm working each day to ensure stories like yours reach many people.
Yeah.
And you are able to do what?
It's a story about Black Americans. Yeah, absolutely.
About your experience as an African American or a Black American. Which name do you prefer?
Oh man, I think most people in America, Black Americans, prefer Black Americans. I think.
Oh, do you prefer Black Americans?
Yeah, I think so. And I can tell you why. Because a lot of Black Americans don't see themselves as African, or they see themselves as African, but they don't see themselves connected to the culture, the African culture. You know what I mean? So to connect to their own culture, they also call themselves Black Americans. You know?
Mm-hmm. Sister, do you like calling him African American or Black American?
I prefer calling him a Black American, like it's shorter and quicker than African American. African American sounds very long.
It is. It's a long name.
Yeah.
Many African Americans, I prefer calling African Americans, don't like to be called African Americans because they don't want to be associated with being called African Americans. Yeah. So, like, they don't say European Americans, Asian Americans. Yep. But why is it the black person is called African American?
That's the point. That's a good point. And in America, Black Americans should just be called Americans, right? not Black Americans, because the white people are not called European Americans, right? So yeah, that's a good point that you brought up. Yeah. So what's the tribe that you originally, what's your tribal background? Yeah.
So I am a Luo, but I'm not a pure breed of Luo.
Oh.
Actually, I'll go further to say that I'm not even a pure Kenyan.
Okay.
I'm African, but not Kenyan.
Okay.
Fully Kenyan.
Wow.
See, my great grandmother, she was a Nyarwanda. My dad's grandmother, she was Nyarwanda, coming all the way from Rwanda and Congo Forest. Yes. So they met in Kampala.
Yeah.
So I have some ancestry in Uganda also. So my grandfather, my great grandfather, my father's grandfather, married this woman. She was called Teresia. So she came and she brought her to Kenya, just like you're about to take sister to US. Yes.
Wow, we have to do an interview on you. That's really interesting right there.
So what inspired your move from the United States to Nairobi? And how has the experience been so far?
Yeah, so I always wanted to come to Africa ever since I was young. So anyone who knows me in America knows that I wanted to come to Africa. I used to tell people all the time. And I wanted to come to Kenya specifically. I used to watch the TV show on National Geographic. I don't know if you remember this. Yeah, Nat Geo Wild. You know it. Okay. So I had a dog at the time. So he used to always look up at the TV show, right? He's always looking at the animals. So I said, why is my dog always looking at the animals? So I did too. I looked at the show too. And I saw the animals, the wildlife, and I was like, wow, this is beautiful. And I said, where is this place? So I did some research, and it was Kenya. It was Masai Mara, I think, Masai. Leopards, lions, elephants, all these animals. Yes. Yeah, the big five, they call them. Yeah, yep. So then I was like, okay, I want to go to Kenya, right? So that's how it started. Yeah, that's how it started.
Yeah. But we also have some other big five in other countries. It's not only Kenya.
Yeah, true.
I think, I don't think for you, but I think the Spirit led you here. Because many times they say that it's Ghana where you all came from, not you, bro.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to say it all. Or brother, can you put it in the context?
Many a times, Black Americans, or rather African Americans, are known to have originated from Ghana, where the slaves were taken some centuries ago to overseas in the US. So many a times, many Black Americans associate with Ghana as where they originally came from. So it triggers us as Kenyans when we see Black Americans wanting to connect their ancestry in Kenya. For you, it was the wild animals, and probably we'd want to know another reason why you chose Kenya over any other African country.
Yeah, you know what? It was originally the animals, right? So then I started looking into Kenya, and I started learning about the language and the Swahili. I learned a little bit of Swahili before I came over. And then
can you say something in Swahili?
Yes. Nasema Kiswahili kidogo tu. Najifunza Kiswahili kidogo.
He says it in a funny way. You could just tell from afar. This guy is not from here.
You could tell. Okay. But you're right though. We did an ancestry DNA. I don't know if you heard of that before. We tracked all of my DNA in Africa. It's called T3. Yeah. Say it one more time.
It's called T3. The DNA name.
It was a different name. I don't remember what it was called. I'm sorry, but that's one of them. And the DNA came from mostly Nigeria, Ghana, but there was some stuff in South Africa and a little bit of Tanzania I found. Yeah.
Kenya, no.
No Kenya. No.
But you still chose Kenya.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
You see, even though the DNA test did not show Kenya, you know, sometimes even the people living in Kenya are not the original Kenyans. I'm told that the original Kenyans were the Khoisans.
Oh.
The people with the small eyes in South Africa. Oh. I don't know if you know those guys.
Oh, no.
So you will notice that people of South Africa, they are very different from the other people of Africa, the black-skinned idea. Yeah. They have these distinct features, small eyes, kind of red skin.
Wow.
Somebody like Mandela, You could think, without the hair, you could think Mandela was a Chinese.
Yeah.
Because he had those eyes.
Yeah.
Do you know Julius Malema, brother?
Yes, I've heard of him. Yep.
You will notice that they look different.
Yeah.
And even they just look different. And it's said that they came all the way from Kenya. Maybe I'm a Nigerian and I don't know.
Right. Yeah.
And I'm here.
You know what I heard? I heard that a lot of Kenyans actually move towards Kenya. So from Uganda and then kind of towards the Congo. They're from this area, then they move this way. That's what I heard. I don't know if it's true though.
I'll tell you something. Okay, I told you it's natural. I like keeping my interviews natural.
Yeah.
It's not about you taking from you.
Yeah.
You also take from me.
Okay.
You know? So in Africa, in Kenya, let me put it in Kenya to minimize all that.
Okay.
So we have language groups. I don't know if Sister's told you. Sister is Bantu. She's Bantu.
Yeah.
Bantu has the largest popularity in Africa. We have the Nilotes, we have the Kushites, we have the Semites. You know? So she's Bantu, myself I'm a Nilot, and these language groups were not originally from Kenya. The Bantus came from the Congo forest.
Wow.
You know? The Nilotes came from
Barrel Gazelle.
Barrel Gazelle, somewhere in the Nile. You know, Nile has some. Is it the blue or the white Nile?
Blue. Not sure though.
Okay, Nile has two tributaries. So one of the tributaries is where the Nilotes came from, and they walked until they reached East Africa.
Oh.
Some went to Kenya.
Yeah.
Some went to Uganda. Some went to South Sudan.
Right.
So we have a lot of Nilotes in Kenya, Sudan, South and Sudan, and Uganda.
Yeah.
Also we have the Bantus. So these are people who are migrating. Also the Fulani of Nigeria and the Yoruba of Nigeria. You see, most of African Americans, when they test their DNA, it samples back to the Yoruba of Nigeria. And these people are all Bantus. See, Africa, we are all one people.
Yeah,
we are all one people. Yes.
So maybe your ancestry was not direct from Kenya, but when you look it from a deeper angle, probably you're Kenyan.
Yeah, everybody, right? Everybody's together.
Let's go to the second part of the same question.
Yeah.
How has been your experience in Kenya so far?
Oh man, you know what? There's good and bad. I'll be honest, right? You have the good and you have the bad, right? So I love the beautiful scenery of Kenya. It's very calming, relaxing. It feels stress-free, you know. Then there's some stressful times, you know. Some scamming, maybe. Some some other things. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So I'll just say I'll leave it at that. So good and bad.
So about scamming, brother. Have you been scammed?
Have we been scammed in Kenya?
No, never. But Tanzania, yes. In Kenya, no.
You guys have been to Tanzania also?
Yeah.
I've lived there for like almost a year.
You've been scammed in Tanzania, but not in Kenya.
Yeah.
Well, I'll say it like this.
Okay, how long have you been to Kenya? Have you been in Kenya? Okay, for you.
Yeah. Okay. Let me just say this first.
Okay.
For Kenya, I've been scammed, but not anything serious. Maybe a boda driver, right, on a motorcycle, and you know, maybe they ask for extra money, you know, in that way.
Because you are different.
Yeah, but that's it though for Kenya. But for Tanzania, it was extreme. But I've been in Kenya for like 2.5 years now.
Okay, can you tell us what happened in Tanzania?
My fiance is better at explaining that.
Yeah,
let's let her do that.
So after we got our house in Tanzania, like after 2 weeks, I was checking to see the servants' quarter, and then I discovered like someone has dug up a tunnel underground, and then they've connected cables into our servants' quarter, so they're using our electricity for free. So they're not paying their bill. So we're paying electricity, so like it's like bills. Running short so quick.
Yes.
So you try to look for like what's the problem. We go see cables are connected to our house.
Yes.
And then we disconnected the cables.
Yes.
And then later in the evening, the guy comes and says, is your power out, guys? Because the power in my house is not working. And then we tell him, so you're the one who connected the cables to our house?
Yes.
Then he's like, I wasn't even using it a lot. In my house, I don't have a fridge.
So he's giving excuses.
Yeah. Then we told him, even if you don't have a fridge, you should ask people first.
Yes.
Or it's not good to just steal someone's electricity like that. Yeah. So that was just one of the weird experience we had in Tanzania.
You know, I've heard some stories in Tanzania from the research I've done that Tanzania does not favor women. You know, I'm not a feminist and I don't support most of those things they do, but I've heard that Tanzania is a very conservative country. There is certain mode of dressing they really enforce. You know, Kenya is different from Tanzania. I don't know if you've noticed that. If you want a taste of Tanzania in Kenya, you go to Mombasa. You'll get a taste of Tanzania in Kenya. You'll find it there, you know.
Yeah.
They are very conservative because that's a Muslim culture. You know, Muslims with conservativeness, right?
Yeah.
So did you experience such kind of
Because I remember when we were at the airport, because I'm someone who loves maybe dressing something comfortable, so I was in like a very short dress, and then the lady was asking me, "You're a mom, why are you dressed like this?" And then they're telling me,
so you're holding the baby?
Yes, and they're telling me you have to go to the washroom and change into something else. So I had to go change into like leggings and a t-shirt.
Yes.
So they're saying you can't go past the airport dressed like that or something.
Yes.
So I just went and changed. Or if you wear something short, people will just stare at you. It's not something they're used to
Yes.
But in Kenya, I always travel like in any outfit, even with shorts.
Yes.
Like in Kenya, there's a lot of freedom for the women than Tanzania.
Thank you for sharing that information. You see, some people just don't learn. You know, brother, you just see me doing content. People might see me doing content, but I get insults, bro. People insult me a lot. Why are you speaking for African Americans? I have my own reasons for doing all this, and it's to help you out, you know. I get calls, Mark from Africa, Mark meets Africa. He was telling me about, no, let's forget. Mark meets Africa sees the world in a different way that I see it. And I just have to respect his opinions. I just also have to respect my opinions. Yeah.
That's important, right?
So you've shared some of the positive aspects of living in Kenya that have influenced your decision to move from the United States.
Yeah.
You know, I hear each day a black man has to be killed in USA. Is it true?
Yeah, you know what? I think it might be true if you look at the statistics, and they definitely have a little bit of an issue with that, right? With some racism within the police force. But maybe it could be exaggerated at times from some black Americans, but it's definitely there and it definitely happens, you know? So a lot of black Americans are coming over to Africa, to Kenya, right? Ghana, to get away from that, you know? So there's no racism here, you know, for black people, right? You just walk around and everybody looks like you, right? And that's that's a big deal for black Americans that come here.
Let me ask you a question. How does that make you feel as a black American living in Kenya, meeting everyone who looks like you? It's really hard for someone to notice the difference because we look the same. Only if you speak, someone can get the difference. So how do you feel being a black in an environment that is full of black people?
It's so relieving, you know, a lot of stress relief when you're in that environment, you know. And I know I don't know if Kenyans can really understand that unless they go to a country that's predominantly white. Then you can really understand how I feel, you know. So it's like a really cool experience, you know, when you're around people that look like you. But people do assume that I'm Kenyan at times, right? So they'll speak Swahili to me, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't know what you're saying. I don't know what you're talking about, right? So,
to the fourth question, how do you feel about reconnecting with your African roots while living here in Nairobi?
Yeah, you know what? Now that I'm with my fiance, Kimberly Faith, I can connect with her through when we go to her village. I can see like how they live there, right? Which is more simple, you know, more milking the cow or seeing the animals and the chickens. And I feel like I can connect with talking to her father, right? And he tells me about their history of Bakusu, right? Of the Luyas, right? So I think I connect in that way, you know.
So your wife is your wife is playing a big role for you connecting back your roots in Africa.
Yeah, huge role.
Okay, probably how has it been? How is the experience for your wife having a black American in the village?
Yeah.
When you go with him to the village.
Yeah, let's ask her.
How does it feel? How do people like take him?
So when we went to the village, he was the first Black American to visit my village. So it was such a big deal.
Everyone assumed he knows Swahili.
Not really. They knew he's American, and he was the first Black American in the village. So all the kids were running to come see him because they hear a Black American is in our village for the first time.
Oh, okay.
So everybody was coming to see him. So it was like a very nice experience. And like my dad is like, everywhere I go, everybody says, oh, you have an American son-in-law. So he's the only person in the village with an American son-in-law.
You know, we forgot to ask.
Yeah.
Before I get into my question, Mark said when he went to Uganda, the kids were saying, Mzungu, Mzungu, Mzungu. You know, Mark has a lighter complexion.
Yeah.
So people are shouting, Mzungu, Mzungu. People are glorifying him, saying, give us money and all that. You know, people had never seen someone like Mark. People had never seen someone talk like Mark.
Yeah.
You see, the West has really changed our mindset, and it has really corrupted, actually, our mindset. We think that we Africans, we don't reach here. We don't get to the power, you know?
Yeah.
Somebody has to be from the United States for us to feel, oh, he's the one.
Right.
Sometimes you are in the line and with your accent, the person who serves will, hey, come.
Yeah.
They'll serve you, but the Africans will keep on waiting.
Yeah.
See, it happens.
Right.
So have you experienced such a thing where you get
treated better?
Yeah.
You get the privilege at the expense of the African.
Yeah, like you said, at the salon, right? We were there to we're doing our hair, right?
Yes.
We came a little late, right? And we were just waiting, and there's a lady ahead of us. And the guy kind of lets me go first, right? I'm talking to him. He's Nigerian, by the way. He's not Kenyan. It's a Nigerian shop. And he lets me go first, you know? And the lady gets very angry, you know? She's saying, why are you letting him go first? Because he's American or something like that. So it happens, you know. I apologize to her, you know. So it happens sometimes, you know. And I don't think it's fair, you know. I don't think they should do that
unless they're doing it as a human being, not because you are coming from the United States. You see, bro.
Yeah.
I can love you as a brother.
Yeah.
Because you are human and you are brother.
Yeah.
But not that you are from the United States. It happens that that I love a brother, a good brother, that is from the United States.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. That's how it should be, right? But it's not, and it comes with a whole lot of history, right? We can make a whole interview on just that.
True. So let's move to the fifth one. So were there specific challenges in USA that motivated your decision to relocate to Africa, that is Kenya? And have you found a fulfilling lifestyle?
Yeah, that's a good question. That's a really good one. I like that one. Yeah, you know what? The cost of living here is a lot better than in the USA.
Yes.
So, you know, with the work that I do, I'm a teacher, online teacher, so I can be a teacher in the US.
So you teach English as a foreign language?
That's right. Yep. And I do it here in Kenya, right? And that allows me, and I'm getting paid with US dollar, right? So when you're getting paid with US dollar and you come to Africa, you can live a lot better. You know, you can live a lot.
You're the rich man in town.
Yeah, absolutely. But maybe not in the US, right? If you're back in the US, you're not rich, right? So, but you are, and you know, you have a lot more money than normal average, maybe in Kenya, right? So, or in other African countries. So that's a benefit, you know, for me, for other Black Americans, if you want to come here, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I would say that. So, and that what keeps me not feeling so stressed when I'm here.
Yes. You see, I like the fact that you've said something that I always oppose.
Yeah.
I always oppose the fact that African Americans should come to Africa looking for jobs. Why am I saying this, brother?
Yeah.
See, brother, you've seen how Africans are leaving Africa. They're risking their lives, going all the way, walking from Kenya, walking from Nigeria, all the way to the Mediterranean. They're trying to cross the sea and get themselves to USA and to Europe, Spain.
Yeah.
Because there is no jobs in Africa. But African Americans, some of them like you, have been fortunate.
Yeah.
Brother, it's because of your skill. I can't say you came to Africa looking for a job. Or maybe you'll say that for yourself. I can't speak for you. So, what do you think? Should African Americans come to Africa looking for a job? Or what do you think?
Let me say this. I don't think so. I think if you come to Africa, you need to already have a job, right? Or have some savings, right? Have a lot of savings before you come here. And start a business, right? Start something and hire Kenyans, hire other Africans, right? I think that's the way that we can all help each other, you know? And even, you know, this is controversial maybe, but I think that Black Americans should even get with Kenyans, right? Have a Kenyan American baby, you know, so they can have connection to Kenya and America, right? And I think that will help everybody in that way, you know, bridge the gap, they say in the U.S. Yeah.
Bring another Obama.
Yeah, that's right. Bring another Obama, right?
Yes, brother.
Yeah.
So, has your lifestyle changed since you moved to Africa? Because I'm saying this, I love giving reasons to why I'm asking questions.
Yeah.
Brother Mark, there's a lot to learn from him. A lot.
Yeah, smart. He's very smart.
I'm not against Mark. But he's really good at what he says.
Yeah.
So, he said that, have I just forgotten what I wanted to say? What were you saying last?
Oh, I was saying about Kenyans and Black Americans should bridge the gap, right? Come together.
Yes.
Yeah.
What did he say?
Yeah, with paying. Yeah.
I've forgotten. Let me remember again.
Yeah.
Has your lifestyle changed since you moved to Africa?
Yeah. It has a little bit. Yeah, I think in the U.S. I was always working, right?
Yes.
And she knows, right? I was always calling her from work, right? Because I didn't have a lot of extra time. But being in Kenya, I have a lot of extra time to do interviews like this and to do a lot of other cool stuff, you know? So I'm more relaxed. I can work out more. I can buy, there's cheaper stuff you can buy, you know, houses. There's good housing here to buy for cheap. So there's a lot of things I can do. I have more free time, I would say, overall.
They say that a lady, I did a video yesterday but one. And by the way, my channel right now is not monetized.
Wow, really?
There was an issue.
There was an issue.
Okay.
So I'm still fighting for the monetization to come back.
Gotcha.
But I'm still recording.
That's good.
I'm not motivated by those money.
Yeah.
God himself knows why.
Good dedication.
You know? So, I think I've just forgotten.
It's okay. But that's good really motivation that you're able to, you know, still do this, even if you're not monetized. You know, I think that's ambitious, right? And that's what we need.
It is ambitious. So, brother, how did you meet?
Oh. How do I meet her?
Yes.
Okay, let me let her tell the story. She's really good with these stories.
Okay.
So we met online in 2021, just on one of these dating apps. And then we talked online. It was June 2021, and then August, he moved to Kenya. I picked him from the airport, and then we started looking for our first apartment together. And that's how we moved in.
Yes.
And now it's almost 3 years. Yeah.
It is 3 years, and we have more years counting. The baby needs to grow old also.
Yes, the baby she's growing, right? Yeah. Yeah.
People are making kind of a lot of noise. So, brother.
Yeah.
Were you looking for an African woman, or was it just fate?
Yeah. Well, you know what? I was looking for an African woman, you know, and I was on a dating app doing it. It's not always the best place, but I was on a dating app because I wasn't here, right? So I was on a dating app, and I was always asking the woman, I want an African wife.
So you're going around, I want an African wife.
Yes, I was. I really was. I was saying that.
I'm looking for an African wife, and I marry you, we get a house. So I was like, that's weird. Sounds
That is
like, you know, when a guy is promising too much here,
yeah, it's a red flag.
Red flag.
Yes.
But for him, he was like serious. So when he arrived, he did everything. He was texting.
Yeah.
So I think maybe some girls thought you were joking, but for me, I was like, oh, let me take a try and see.
She's like my fiance. She studies here at University of Nairobi.
Wow.
Did you know this is UON?
No, I haven't.
Just right behind us.
We'll have to visit. Yeah.
It's one of the best universities in Africa.
Yeah.
So you are sitting in its compound right now.
Nice.
This is an extension of it.
Wow.
So she studies here, and that's how I met her. You know,
Oh.
I was like you, brother.
Yeah.
I was going around. I want a good woman.
Yeah. Right. Because I wanted something serious, you know. I want the woman to know that this is for real, you know. No games, you know. I wanted something serious, right?
Yes. So I just told her the way. I don't know how you did your way, but it has some similarities. Like you spoke your mind.
Yeah.
And you told it in a way that it seemed too good, but it was too good and it was true.
Yeah.
It was too good and it was true, and that's really nice.
Yeah.
So my problem is here. Do you think African American women have problems? Because not only you, brother, many brothers.
Yeah.
We have Austin Holman. Do you know Austin Holman?
Yeah.
That brother loves African women.
Yeah.
Not only him. I have a number of people. I do this content, I know.
Yeah.
So, is there something wrong with African American women?
You know what? I think there's problems with women everywhere, in every country, right? So even if I asked you if there are problems with Kenyan women, I think you could give me some, right? See, you're even laughing, right? There's probably plenty, right? But there's also problems with Black American women, African American women too, right? And so there's a movement, right, with the passport bros. I don't know if you heard of that. A lot of Black men are traveling, and they're meeting African women, right? And it's because they want a woman who's more submissive, right? They want someone who can cook more, who can, you know, clean, right, more. And Black American women don't do that so much, right? But one more thing, there's an argument though, is that they're also working. Black American women also work, you know? Not so much Kenyan women are working, right? Compared to Black American women. So some of their time, the Black American women, you know, is taken up by work, because they have to work too, you know? So yeah, that answers your question. Yeah.
Very, very debatable.
Yeah.
African women, this and that. But one thing I know is this. You see, there's a reason why USA is called the Babylon. A lot of bad things and also a lot of good things happen and they're always transmitted into Africa. For example, we have the problem of LGBTQ. It's being pumped
into Africa.
But the African leaders are standing strong against it. No, we are not talking about LGBTQ, but those are some of the things which are brought here. LGBTQ, as years pass, more letters are being added. Now, it will come a time that we as men, we won't have a voice. And I think that is the thing which is happening in USA right now. The man has been so much constricted, he doesn't have that voice. But here in Africa, we still hold our values, the African values, you know? No matter what happens, maybe it will take 1,000 years for Africa to change into USA. And I think that is what African brothers are looking, African American brothers are looking at our women, our sisters, our brothers, if it's women, and we value that. We value that. We love our traditions, we love our culture. Yes.
I agree with you, right? The masculinity, they call it, right?
Yeah.
Masculinity is strong in Africa, right?
Yes.
Not so much in America, right?
It's constricted.
Yeah, constricted, right? Yeah. So I think that's the big difference too. Why a lot of men, you see a lot of men coming over, right? Yeah, absolutely.
So what aspect of Kenyan culture or community life have you embraced since moving?
Say one more time for me.
What aspect of Kenyan culture or community life have you embraced since moving? And do they compare to your experiences in the USA? Are there things that you love doing here? Are there things that you can only find in Kenya and you also love doing them? And how is it comparable to USA?
Oh man, I think I love that's a hard question actually. Yeah. I love everything I do here, to be honest with you. Just being able to be more relaxed, here is been comfortable for me, So I will say riding my bike. People ride their bikes a lot here in Kenya. Not so much from where I'm from in Michigan. Is not so common. So bike riding is something I like to do. Bicycle, just a bicycle, yeah. And just today, I'm really happy about that. I just rented a moped, electric scooter. So I'll be doing that too a little bit more here, which I never did in the U.S. So just those types of things, And when we go to the village, I'm going to try some of the traditional things too that they do in the villages. So that'll be interesting. We did open a restaurant in Mombasa. We did this Swahili dishes. And some American ones too, both. Yep. Sadly, the American ones weren't so popular, but the Swahili ones were. And recently, we've been donating at in the Kibera slums. Yeah, I want to know what is it called? Do you remember?
Voice of Hope Orphanage. Voice of Hope Orphanage.
Foundation of Hope, actually. Foundation of Hope. Yeah, there's a orphanage that I highly recommend people to go to. Foundation of Hope is ran by a guy with dreadlocks. He's very nice. His name is Carlos. You should definitely check this place out and donate here.
So you are giving back to the society. You see, when you engage in local activities, such as the ones you said you engaged in, you find yourself adopting more. Because you can't only adapt to your wife. We have people outside her. We also have other Africans, So me coming to such places like here, talking and all that, that is one way of interacting. And there's an African love this. An African loves someone who is donating to them. If you want to be a friend of an African, donate to them. You'll be good friends with them.
Yeah, you know what? One more thing. The YouTube. We also contribute through YouTube, right? And you do as well, right? Just showing Africa. If you go to America, my parents were a little bit afraid. They thought you might be living with lions or with elephants or something like that. People are afraid. They don't know what's in Kenya, So yeah, that's a big point of it too.
This is a difficult question. Huh?
Okay.
It's actually very difficult.
Let's get it.
Do you foresee returning to the United States in future, or does Kenya feel like home? Your permanent home for now?
I think I can answer that for him, but
She wants to answer it too. Okay, I'll let her answer too, but I'll go first. I think I see Kenya and the U.S. as my home, both. So I like both countries. I prefer to stay in Kenya, but we do want to go to the U.S. And visit, and I'll let her answer the rest of this.
Yeah, so we love Kenya, and actually we plan on maybe buying land in Kisumu by the lake and build their house. Though also I want to visit the US because I've never seen it. So if it's going to the US, we'll only visit for a year or two and then come back to Kenya and buy land in Kisumu. So that's what you're planning on doing.
Yep. So that easily translates to them living in Kenya permanently.
Yeah,
and visiting the US, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Visiting the US for 1 year. Okay. I don't know. Okay, it's you who decides in the long run. But I listen to those news, bro. And I'm like, if only I could bring a big ship and carry those African Americans, put them in Africa.
Right.
But then, okay, sister, I also love going to I would love to go there. But I just don't know if I would bear seeing those things, if I see them, if it's true.
For a year.
For a year, you know, waking up.
It will depend how I feel. If I can't handle it and we come back, I just want to see how it is.
Yes.
Because, you know, he knows my world, so I'll just like to see how America looks then.
Yes.
We get back and start building our house.
Yeah. You know, Brother Kev, your story is really motivating, you know. Look, you are very young. Mm-hmm. We are just stage mates here.
Yeah.
And right now, African Americans are even looking towards buying land in Kenya. Land is also one thing we talk about in our channel, in my channel personally. Wow. Mm-hmm. So Ghana does not allow Ghanaians or foreigners, let me say foreigners, to own land permanently.
Yeah.
You can only lease land. Mm-hmm. And you can lease this land for up to 100 years.
Yeah.
After 100 years, the land goes back to whichever person it came from or the government.
Right.
So could you tell us this thing I'm always telling African Americans, you and African American, telling them, they'd even believe more that this boy tells us the truth. Tell them about your experiences of buying land in Kenya or what you've had for yourself.
Yeah. Okay.
There's a lot you can learn from what these subjects have said. There's a lot you can tell from how they were talking, from how they were giving their thoughts. So that's it, and I hope you find value in this video. If you come to Africa, be sure to enjoy your stay. Always do your research, as I always tell you, do your research and live happily and come open-minded. Not everyone gonna welcome you as you expect, and not everyone gonna deny you. So at least you'll have some balance, and I'm sure many people are going to love you when you get to Africa. When you get to Kenya, I can speak for Kenya because I'm in Kenya. I can also speak for Ghana because I've done a lot of videos concerning Ghana. Tanzania also, Gambia also. These countries are all one. We will welcome you all with a whole big heart. And that is what I have to tell you. Now, without further ado, let's end the video. And if you wish, you can support me on Patreon. The channel is not monetized. The thing you can do for me is wishing me subscribe to my Patreon, be a member. You can always be paying a monthly donation from $5. Whichever the amount, I will appreciate a lot. See you there.